still say that we don't have a sun simulator, you are, for a rude awakening, like these people were in Nigeria. Now, when I say a fake sun, I'm not saying the real sun still ain't there, but this thing is here to hide the unexpected solar eclipses, but now it's failing. Let's just watch as people in Nigeria witness this very event, and I have a pretty good explanation why this is happening. So here we can see people freaking out, taking pictures, looking at it. I mean, it's absolutely obvious to everybody in the audience here. In fact, we've got women in here raising their arms, worshiping God or repenting or whatever. So let's just keep watching. Let me fast forward this a little bit. We can see people got their hands in the air. This was a pretty famous. They got the cell phones looking at this thing. Okay, so obviously they know. Look at this guy with this camera. He's checking it out. Okay, this is happening. Let's watch it some more. I mean, it's epically failing. That's the fake sun failing because it's being eclipsed. Absolutely crazy. It's almost like, is that a Morse code or is this for real, right? I mean, I could be wrong in my theory, and this could just be setting the stage for the fake alien invasion, and the aliens are messing with the sun. But I'm not going to follow that fake alien. I'm calling it fake. Okay, so let me take you to a video taken from a live feed from the International Space Station, ISS, and I call it the International Sun Simulator. Now what we have here is this thing just firing up. Look at this thing. I believe this light here is a light beam, lasers that are being fed into a gas chamber, the source of energy for the fake sun simulator. And I believe the source of this energy is being beamed to it by microwave energy. They use microwave energy because it could be beamed far farther than anything else. And so, in fact, this idea of a gas chambered, let me just see if we get into it here. A gas chambered, Dr. Claudia Albers, physicist, had proposed an idea and really broke this thing down quite well. Here's the pictures and still shots of the sun simulator that we just saw. This continuous beam of light, she says, and I agree with her, that is being pumped into this ionizing plasma gas chamber, making this thing super bright. The venting process here may be actually a feed for more laser input. The side that we're facing is the sun-facing camera. She proposes an invention here, and I agree fairly with the conceptual idea of having a gas chamber. I'm not sure of these shutters. I think these lights, these shutters. Well, this is the forward-facing lens, and this is a shutter that can be opened and closed. These ports on the outside, this side would face the Earth, and we can see this conceptual idea. This is what I want to talk about, this laser beam generation device. She says it's being put into the entrance of the thing, but I think it could also be being fed from the outside as well. But it's not bad. See how the laser beams are being beamed into this thing. But the source energy from this laser beam is something I would like to talk about. And let me just show you a few more clips of the powerful evidence that as the sun is coming directly above us, we'll get a round surface. But if it approaches us at an angle, we get peculiar pictures like this angular light here. This is why we have this cone shape of light, kind of all we had in my other sun simulator examples. Next, we have an idea that I propose that this thing, thanks to the Strategic Defense Initiative, this is how, if we had this gas chamber thing here and this laser, so basically we'd have solar collectors in space. In fact, NASA's already worked on it. I'm just kind of showing you my drawing of it. And so has PG&E. We'll show you the articles. That these sun simulators, the solar collectors power for this device could be placed all around the sun in an orbit, just like they do with SDO, sun orbiting, and then refocus the energy onto a single plate or beam. Wow, just like the movie Star Wars, right? SDI. So this light would be converting solar DC power into these collectors into a microwave energy, which can be transmitted for a very long distance, and focus them on a single plate receptor, and then focus this energy, and then bounce them at different beams. So here then we have the sun simulator here emitting its light, like I showed you in my other examples with the Fresnel lens. Next, let's get into the microwave technology. So we have the Japanese have working at creating space-based renewable energy, basically putting solar collectors orbiting the sun. I'll leave links of all this. You could just check out space-based energy. But a couple of key things I want to show you, that the timing of these events, of these solar collectors that the Japanese have already worked on. Space-based solar farms. How about this one? This is from the Department of Energy. Laser beam emitting solar satellites. Right? These things orbit around the sun, they collect its energy and beam its light back to the earth. Microwave energy can be sent as long as 35,000 kilometers, while laser light can only be sent for 400. This shows the pros and cons of these two different technologies. This here would be a solar energy transducer that would transduce the solar energy back into a microwave energy, and this one into laser energy. The pros and cons. And then beaming it back to Earth on solar farms. This is an article, Energy from Outer Space, and what we have, again, solar collectors orbiting the sun and powering different devices. Energy from space, beaming it back to the Earth on a spot, and then converting it back to AC current on the Earth, and then giving you free energy. Well, I see some serious problems with this one. Look at this. PG&E makes a deal for space on solar power. I want you to check out the date on this one. California's energy utility purchased 200 megawatts of electricity from a startup company that beams power to the Earth from outer space, beginning in 2016. The same company that put in smart meters. You know what smart meters are? It's a cellular device that gives them direct communication to the cellular network. And a cellular receiving unit could be triangulated on to give you a very precise precision. Maybe see where I'm going with this one? The California fires with the precise lasers that we have, they now know exactly where you live. Wow. The same power company that provides you power knows exactly where you live and now have the technology to beam microwave energy to the Earth. Uh-oh. Or Business Insider, this is more than conceptual. The Japanese have already doing it. PG&E's been doing it. In fact, they've been beaming their microwave energy to the Mojave Desert, and they wanted to redirect that energy to Sebastopol. Well, that's awfully close to Napa Valley. A giant beam of energy in the form of microwaves. And we all know what microwaves can do to water and things that live and vibrate at a very high frequency. And and all they have to do is redirect all this microwave energy into a single laser generator, and basically had weaponized it. Funny how, the fires happened right on Geostorm. Go watch the movie Geostorm, by the way, that shows satellites beaming laser energy all the way to the Earth. Wow. So let me go back to this drawing here. That what I was thinking what was happening here, that these solar collectors were far out in outer space, much further out than our Earth. The moment this energy has been blocked from supplying its source energy, we have our intruder here. So they turn on the sun simulator to keep light shining on the sky. But there's a problem. Once this thing gets really close, these beams get blocked. They no longer supply light. Do we have any evidence of this? Yes. Let's watch. In my previous video I had made with a high-speed moon traveling at the Earth, and in front of it were the 7 planets and 7 moons of Nibiru, Planet X. So here we see the high-speed shadowy moons moving at us, and then right after that we get a giant shadowy object trailing in behind it. So then here we get this object, and then after it comes in, I left this video, please go back and watch the whole uninterrupted version of it, but I'm speeding this thing up, and we can see that this thing comes in, it orbits around in a boomerang-like fashion because the system is spiraling at us, and then basically just vanishes. And then in this video, I had a YouTube subscriber show a time-lapse video of this object passing in front of the sun. Let's watch that again. See that shadow? A time-lapse video. I hope to catch that one day. Next time your skies look like that, go get a time-lapse video and look at that. This object here, I believe, is breaking these microwave beams that supply the energy of this thing. So the problem, I believe, has been solved. Let's look again. This sun simulator, every time this beam is break, we don't have the sun simulator. It is the source of energy. If that source of energy is blocked, then this thing dims out and flashes out. It seems to match the pattern and the speed of the sun. So if I am right, this thing's getting close enough with its moons now breaking the beams of the sun simulator. So every time this thing goes out, we lose the sun. And that's what that beam is. That's a laser beam. But I believe this laser beam gets its energy from the remote solar collectors. 2 of them, by the way. That's great, because if one beam gets broken, you have a backup beam from another source. But if they both break, the thing must be getting pretty close. That's my theory on that. And there you got, maybe it's an alien symbology. Let's look at this microwave energy being directed at the Earth. Now look at that. Dry twigs and brush were not affected, right? But the tree burns from the inside out. Microwave energy. Let me keep playing this video. Here we go. Look at those ashes, people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know this isn't California fire. That's what's actually scary about it. They've been test firing. I think they missed their mark, or they're trying to they could get the target, or they're just messing with this guy to see what this thing can do to a tree. That's exactly what microwave energy would do. Come on now, what would ever do that, people? Yeah, energy from space. Is that what they're going to do with this space-based weapon? Is this what they're going to do with us energy? Direct it all into the earth and take us out if they don't like us? Yeah. Energy beamed from collectors from around the sun, impulsed energy onto a single point, microwave energy, converted into a laser energy, and then fire that burst of energy wherever they want onto mirrors, onto their final target. Wow. Yeah, I like that scene. Wasn't that crazy, people? Yeah. So you still want to think it's a real sun? Look at this sun. Look at this hexagonal sun. And look, we can almost make out the laser beams. And I'd like to show you some NASA photos here. What I believe to be laser mounts on the ISS. Now, this is left out on any photos I've ever seen from the International Space Station. What the heck is that? I'll tell you, those are lasers. Very high powered. In fact, it looks like it's in the infrared spectrum too, because it's red. Yeah, I could be wrong. And they have technology of shaping the wave and changing its frequency to any frequency they want. That would give them the capability of melting anything. Once you find its fundamental wave frequency, you can vibrate it and cause it to affect. Just like microwave energy can affect mostly water, but there's other frequencies that can affect other things like metal, steel, aluminum. Anyways, hope you liked this video. Hope you liked my explanation. I believe it was the high-speed moons that were these objects here. It moving around like in a spiral-like flurry around Planet X. We saw it first, and then we can see the huge shadowy planet that came in. Look at the dates, people. Think times are getting strange. It's the only explanation I have, unless you think it's aliens sending signals to us. But maybe that's the narrative they'll push. As we keep seeing stranger, larger, darker clouds, they're just going to say it was aliens messing with us the whole time. And yeah, I think Ronald Reagan even said it would take an alien threat to unite the whole world. Watch that famous speech. That was in 19. And that gave birth to the SDI, Space Defense Initiative. But is this what's going to happen to it? Right? Anyways, have a blessed day. Copy, like, and share this video. See you at the Lord's Supper.
Hey, what's up YouTube? It's sunrise and I launched the drone and I was able to get the moon and the sun sim as it was coming over the shoreline. Pretty great footage. So check it out. Turn down the propeller volume a little bit. Let's see if we can jumpstart this here. There we go. Look at the, see, normally you would call that stuff on the ground there, that white stuff, fog. But since I saw the low-riding chemtrails last night at 4 a.m., I would suspect that those are chemtrails surfacing to the ground. And hence the reason the brown tops of the trees, the brown grass, it can kill it in a day. Whatever the hell is in it. Aluminum and whatever else. Look at that. Look at the brown dot. Did you see the blue dot? You know, I normally get the black hole sun. That one was just blue. Did you see that? So this is what I was talking about the veil being lifted on September 23rd. Something going on that day, because this is what I was talking about. This color of the sky. It's got like a pinkish hue blue tint to it, and it hasn't. That's new. It's been this way since September 23rd. Look at this sun. Look at this sun. I can't get over the enormous size of this thing. And you can see the core sometimes. The core, the actual size of, I think, is what the light source is that little blue dot. The rest of it is just a glow, you know, that's projecting off of that lens array they put in front of it. But look at, see, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the pinkish blue hue to the sky. And this is on the opposite side. This is on the west side, opposite side of the sun. So what I'm doing right here is I'm climbing altitude because I'm trying to get in frame. It's a little higher of an altitude than the sun right now, but I'm trying to get in frame the full moon, which is out the exact same, there it is, out the exact same time the sun is. So this is kind of weird because normally they say the moon is lit from the light of the sun. So if the sun's in the sky right now, shouldn't it be lighting up the sky to the point where you shouldn't even see the moon? No, I think this thing is its own light source. I think it's a projection, and I think they just forgot to shut it off. Because at the end of this video, I turn around and try to get it again, and it's completely gone. So maybe they caught up to it. I don't know. But when I was in grade school, they taught us when you got phases of the moon, like if you got a half moon, quarter moon, that's because of where it was sitting in conjunction with the earth and the sun. Meaning, the earth was in the way partially, so it would cast a shadow on the moon, which gave you that illusion of a half moon, quarter moon, whatever. And that is just not true, because I have plenty of times caught half moons in the sky the same time the sun's in the sky, and the earth is down here, so how could it be casting a reflection? All that is bogus. Try your hardest to detach yourself from what you learned in all public schools. It's indoctrination. There's a reason why that education was free in public, because they were brainwashing you. They were turning you into Satan's soldiers, basically. As above, so below. The flip opposite of everything God intended is Lucifer. I swear to God. Even the electronic devices, I know if you guys watch my channel, I've said this before, even the electronic devices that we use, the electrons flow backwards in them. So every electronic device that you pick up and you use, the power is running through it backwards. Backwards to forward. It runs backwards, from negative to positive. Now they say all electricity flows that way. That's not true. All electricity needs a ground to flow. Once it makes a ground, that means a solid connection, it can then flow. And it flows linear, it flows in a circle. But it flows in the direction of the electrons, positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative, in a flow. Now, what you hold in your hands, what I'm holding in my hands right now, is man-made electronics manipulated at the atomic level, and the electrons flow backwards. So right there, it's satanic in essence. Not to say that electronic devices were created to be satanic, but I think it's all part of the agenda. And I think that when they pulled our eyes off the TV, they're just attaching them to another screen. But it's all cube worship. That's why all screens are square. That's why there's that big black or obelisk in Mecca. There's a large population of people that pray to the cube. Cube worship. Look it up. It's all hoopla. It's all extensionism of Satanism. And I don't want no part of it. But I'm going to do some more digging videos. I think those research videos come off pretty well. My CERN videos getting some good hits now, and you know, the drone videos I love doing, but there's so many times you can film this on the simulator. I mean, I know sometimes each day I probably get a better vantage point. Like today is a great vantage point. Look at that. Look at the center. Look at the center. I think that center is the actual light source, and the rest of it is just the glow from the lens array to project a realer image of the sun. Or something, I don't know. All I know is I don't get that thing all the time, but when I do get it, especially like now at this high altitude, I'm at a pretty decent altitude. As you can see, I'm starting to get into the chemtrail mist. See, it's getting cloudy. Yeah, I'm pretty high right now. Yeah, there's the moon. Yeah, I'm pretty up there because I got the moon into the shot now. Now this camera, what I love about this camera is it makes everything look a little bigger because it's real. It's a real camera. It doesn't magnify anything. Doesn't stretch out the picture. It makes it like what you see with your eyes. So when I'm up really high and I point to the ground, it's still hard to figure out how high I really am. Partially the reason why I use this camera for my videos because I don't need any more attention from the alphabet agencies. I was already being surveilled three months ago. I had a open Wi-Fi network, and there was FBI surveillance vans in my neighborhood, scattered across, triangulating their signal. I think it was an attempt to crash my drones, and they succeeded. They crashed my Phantom 3 and one of my Bebops. But I recovered. Because if you're a drone pilot, you always have something to back up when you crash. So, but anyway, I switched to some other drones that are from China because they're harder to hack. They work on a different frequency, and I don't think that these hackers are hip to their tech yet. And plus, they make them so they're hard to hack. I actually have a drone that's one of the selling points is that it takes extra precautions in the setup, so it's harder to hack. Because that's what jealous people do, man. They try to hack your shit and crash your shit or obtain your shit. But if you're a thorn in the side of alphabet agencies, they might just stroll into your neighborhood, crash your shit, and you'll never know they were there. And then it'll be enough to kill your channel, kill your hobby, because drones are expensive. When I got crashed, I lost $1,200. So, can you afford to spare $1,200 on a whim? I can't. I cut hair for a living. I'm a barber, and I make no money from this channel. Now, if I could get a drone sponsorship, I would really love that. Actually, people have been asking me what I use for drones. I'm going to put together a compilation video of all the times I answer subscribers about the drones I use, and I'm going to put together a little promo video and see if I can get sponsored by HubSam. You know, because they always have new tech coming out, and I can do tutorial videos and stuff like that. I mean, I know I don't have the biggest audience. I mean, I have a lot more views than I have subscribers. So, because a lot of people, they don't like to commit. They'll watch a video, but then they'll move on. Understandable, you know. I don't do this for those people. I do this for the loyal subscribers. So, but I've been getting harassed by this. I think he's Pakistani or something. His name looked Pakistani, but Ari something or other has been harassing me, trying to debunk me. So I had to mute him. I normally won't mute anybody if they'll debate with fact. If you debate with just your opinion and you have no content on your channel and you have no subscribers and you're just getting on here to cause ruckus, I'll debate you for a while. But if you don't bring up any fact to back up what you're saying, I'll mute you and you'll never get a chance to speak to me again. So, and that's what I just had to do to this Ari, whatever his name was, because he got on here contesting what I'm saying, but he didn't have any fact to back up what he was saying. And trust me, I study my ass off to be ready to debate whoever's ready to debate me. And I'll do it on an open forum, I'll do it on YouTube live stream. It does not matter. I will not lose. When the consciousness happened in 2012, I was praying the Lord for one thing. I didn't pray for riches. I didn't pray for nothing. I said when the consciousness shift happens at the end of 2012, I would like wisdom, superior wisdom, knowledge. I'd like to be able to see things and figure them out without having to think. And within months, it started to bang, bang, bang. Everything I read, I retained. Like if it was a picture in my mind. Everything I read, I understood. I started reading things that were way outside my learning level, and I understood them. I started to see things in people for who they were. I could actually see the evil inside somebody. Even though they faked and act nice and everybody thought they were nice, I could still see the evil in them. And I've been having prediction dreams. A couple of them have came true. This is one of them. Me speaking to a crowd of people is one of my prediction dreams. Did I know it was going to be YouTube? No, I thought it was actually going to be in front of like a congregation. That's why after the dream I got ordained. So it's because I thought I was supposed to speak in front of a congregation. But maybe quoting Bible scripture wasn't for me, because I don't really hang on one particular dogma. I've built my religion, my faith, off of pieces of 3 different dogmas: Christianity, Muslim, and Judaism. I like the Torah, and I like some of the stuff that's in it. I like the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch was originally taken out of, I believe, the Torah. People think that it was taken out of the Christian Bible, but I don't think so. I think it was taken out of the Torah, because the knowledge that he's spitting out is way before Jesus Christ. So, it's down in the days of Moses, And, all those stories go in full depth in the Jewish religion, the story of Moses, because those are Jewish people, All this stuff happened before Christ. Now, I also had another dream. I had to understand, because I've been reading the Bible, and the Bible talks a lot about the morning star. But the Bible makes a reference to the morning star to 2 people, Lucifer and Jesus, Yeshua, And actually, people say Yeshua, it's actually Yahuwah. It's not, you don't pronounce the S, it's Yahuwah. Because when you chant, you use these bass tones and rhythmic tones, and Yahuwah, Yeho, Yahuwah, Yahi. I know that sounds Native American, but it's not. It's actually a mix of what the elites do. They mix a little bit of magic with a little bit of dogma, and they come up with their own Masonic, mystical religion that's greased in magic and everything else. So I came up with my own, with a little bit of white magic. I'm from Massachusetts. I grew up near Salem. I know a lot about Wiccan. So now my prayers include chants, and they're just ways to reach a rhythmic frequency, because we all resonate at a frequency. So if you can reach a more ethereal frequency, I think you can target your prayers straight to God, and He'll hear them. You see what I'm saying? You have to get creative. Anybody can nail on their knees and pray. There's 7 billion people in the world. I think it's pretty hard to hear you unless you make yourself known. Stand on people's shoulders and scream out your name. I'm doing whatever I can, because I was a pretty shitty kid when I was younger. I'm doing whatever I can to repent. The end is near, and I plan on leaving this shit prison planet. And I plan on taking people I love with me. Even if they're not awake, I will make room for them. You see what I'm saying? As long as they believe in God, they don't have to believe in nothing else. I'll carry them with me. So, but I believe I keep having these dreams. There's bigger and better things for me besides YouTube. And I think YouTube is just going to be, when my audience gets bigger, it's just going to be my stepping stone to build my next step. But I'm here to educate. I'm here to share. I'm here to love. And I'm not here to debate trolls on my channel. So if you're a troll, feel free to watch the video. They're great videos, great Joan videos, great wisdom. But don't comment. If you don't have any content and no fact, and you want to comment negative, be prepared to debate. If you have no fact, you will be muted and never speak to me again. Bottom line. And I got some wisdom to share. Okay? I know a lot about the Nation of 5 Percenters, Muslims. That's an American version of Muslims, what the Black Panthers were, what Malcolm X was. And I can tell you stories about Malcolm X. I can tell you all kinds of stories. Okay? That's why I'm here. I'm going to share my wisdom. I need to elevate us all. I'm not saying I'm on a higher pedestal than everybody else, but I have reached a plane that where if my soul leaves my body, I'm projected above everybody else, and it's not where I want to be. I want everybody to be here. You see what I'm saying? But there's lots to talk about, guys. So thanks for watching, of course. God bless. Until next time.